Hello, and welcome to episode 667 of Prog Review. And today, for the 300 or so of you who can be bothered, I'm talking about Josephine Wiggs' We Fall. It's her, I guess it's her debut solo album. Right, and this is going to be a bit odd for some of you because, this is about. You're not going to like it. You might actually. Again, this came out of left field. This blindsided me. This album, for Josephine Wiggs, is bass player. Well, I know her from her bass work with the Breeders on Last Splash and the last album from last year, All Nerve. Again, she did the bass line to Cannonball. Do. So yeah, she's primarily a bass player in that kind of indie rock milieu, and yeah, I didn't know anything about this record. I just saw it popped up I get emails from various record shops and whatnot and said, "Oh, Josephine Wiggs got a solo album." I thought, well, I like the Breeders. This would be interesting. And I had no preconceptions of what it was going to be like, what the album was. I didn't know, and it was one of those perfect storm moments in music, which you don't get very often now because everything's previewed and premiered, and you see it and you hear it and you feel it and you taste it and you touch it before it's released. Whereas this was a complete unknown entity. It was virginal, the experience. And like I say, it completely blindsided me. Because again, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be the work was going to be more in line with the Breeders and have like kind of that indie rock edge, or we were going to go somewhere else. And we went somewhere else, folks. We went over that way. We went left field. We went over there, and spoilers. I got one of the best albums of the year here. This is for me. It completely knocked me off my feet. Wasn't expecting what this album was, and I am entranced by it. I think it's a very, very good album. I think it's an amazing album. Again, from someone, the unexpected. It's the unexpected. What is it? Well, it's 10 tracks and it's instrumental. It's and again, it's not bass led. You do have there are bass guitars on this, and also I think there's cello as well. There's cello. Guess what, folks? Mellotron. It's got Mellotron on it. That means it's automatically in the Prog review. It gets a pass. Or you saying it's not Prog. It's got a Mellotron on it, so it's Prog. And drums as well. So it's Josephine Wiggs on her own, but she's helped by John Mattock. He plays. There's some very fleeting drums and electronic percussion from the Electribe and samples and whatnot. And he's from Spaceman 3 and Spiritualized. So that kind of gives it an added flavour. But yeah, this is mainly piano led. It's keyboard led. It has elements of Harold Budd in there, Eno, some of the chord phrasing. You think, oh, this could be on a Radiohead album. When they're doing their sparse arrangements. And again, I read an interview, and I wish I could find where I read it. But she was saying how some of it was born out of a soundtrack. She was doing soundtrack work on something, and it kind of spun out from that. It became a much bigger piece, and here we are with it. And I mean, again, I like the cover, which I think she took the photograph for that, and that instantly. I mean, all it needs is the stripe down the side, and that could be a real world cover, couldn't it? It could be Peter Gabriel, 1992 thing. So yeah, it looks nice as well. It's got a nice cover. There you go, and there's some other design by David McElwain as well, and Sebastian Bremer. But yeah, the front cover photograph was done by Josephine herself. and yeah, it's a real work of heart. You know, it's soulful, it's melodic, it has a yearning, to it, and like I say, it's underpinned by this. There are, like I say, electronic percussion on it, and like you get the odd clicks and pops, and you think it's because it's playing on record. You think it's a record, but it's not, because there's a rhythm to it, and it can be a little bit, you know, it can draw you out. But that's part of its charm, and there's some really nice drum bits on it as well, and it's very organic, and it's perfect. I mean, I'm doing this on a Sunday morning, and it's a perfect Sunday morning listening with a coffee and a book. But yeah, when I first put it on, I was like, "Whoa, this I didn't expect. This I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a really cool album, and it's a keeper. I feel very strongly about it, and it's not very often an album comes along, a new album that I feel incredibly a strong affinity to, and this is one of them. So I recommend it. Very, very highly. Of course, it's not going to be for everyone, because it is, you know, part of that ambient scene. It is part of that. You know, it could have, you know, Eno could have bloody produced this. You know, it's one of those records. So yeah, if you're expecting, you know, guitar solos or what, no, you're not going to get that. It is, if you like, you know, music for airports, and you know, and a little bit of Radiohead, and you know, mix your influences, Harold Budd, you are going to eat this up. You are going to love it, and you're gonna have this record, and you go, this is a special record. Again, I cannot speak highly enough of it. It truly, there is magic in, and it's magic with a K. There is magic in this record, and it nourishes me. Again, a good record is one that inspires you and thinks, God, I want to do that. It's one of those records where it just hits the right spot. And you know, you probably think I'm crazy if you hear it. You probably, it's just some noodling on the piano. But no. There's something in this. There's fairy dust in the grooves, and yeah, it's got a real atmosphere. It really got to me. It's, you know, I want to listen to it again. It's one of those records, which is odd, because when you get to this age, you think you've, you know, seen it all and heard it all, and you don't think there are any surprises, and then one comes along, and there is. So yeah, I thoroughly and utterly, totally recommend this record, and I give it 5 loveliest of trees out of 5. 5 loveliest of trees out of 5. And there's, like I said, there's some great cello double bass work, and the bass work on this is great. The piano work is fantastic. I love the minimal use of percussion. It's just very tasteful, very, very tasteful record. And there you go. And it's it's on the Sound of Sinners label, which I like. I like the sound of that. I'll have some of that. So there you go. So that is Josephine Wiggs' We Fool album, and I thoroughly recommend it. Yeah, cool. I love this. This is why I love music. This is, you know, it's when something comes along. Better than other bilge that's out there from, was it Big Train and all that crap that pretends to be something new and interesting. It's not. You know, it's just big chords. But yeah, please, if you like that kind of music, give it a try. If you don't like it, toddle off. Go and find somewhere else where there's some mellotrons and capes. But yeah, if you dig that kind of ambient space music, you're gonna love it. So that's it. I've been talking about that album. What we've got to do? We've got to do the run out, because it's a little bit more time. There's a bit more time. Oh, I think it jumped then. Oh dear. Oh, it's all going to be. Oh dear, that's not good. I need a new computer. Might as well face it, Darren. You need a new computer. Yeah, I've wasted enough time. Don't forget, you can thumbs up and down this video. It doesn't matter. You can unsubscribe. Please unsubscribe, because for some reason that's a thing now. Lots of people. I'm doing the same consistent content I've been doing for the last blah years, and people decide I don't like it anymore. Fair dues. So yeah, you can do that as well. Tell me how irrelevant I am. That'd be good. There's the music.darrenlock.com, patreon.com/lock. There's the social media, yada yada yada. But more importantly, you can prog on.